Now, if we can talk about, come on, guys, can we have some fun though? Listen, there is like one fun thing out of all of this. There's one fun thing about what's happening right now, which is Destiny just got demonetized off of YouTube. He no longer, at least currently, is making revenue on YouTube. He wasn't already? No, absolutely not. I'm sorry, I keep misnaming him. I keep using his dead name. Sexpestiny has lost. He has lost his monetization on YouTube. Me reaping, yes. Me sowing, no. No. Mr. Bonercelli. Let's watch. It is really funny that, by the way, over the past like 2 years, him and Dan Stockman have tried so hard to get Congress to investigate Twitch and to investigate online influencers, and it totally fucking blew up in their face because Sexpestiny has said way more crazy shit, way more inflammatory shit than Hassan has ever said. And when you're shining a spotlight on this corner of the internet, guess what? You're in that corner of the internet.
Ridiculous for liberals to cave and capitulate to demands of lowering the temperature when the main figure in American politics, the goddamn president, is not doing so at all and is using this tragedy as an opportunity to stamp out any sort of political dissent. Like, that's what he's implying.
Investigation has now established that he had been radicalized by a leftist ideology, which drove him to do this.
Popular streamer Destiny refused to condemn the assassination. Charlie Kirk says you need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed. On Piers Morgan, I won't condemn anything until Trump can go on air and say all of us need to calm down. On stream, you need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events so they look at their leadership to turn down the temperature. Yeah, I mean, we watched both of these clips. That's basically what he said, yes. And he said this recently, for the record. He said this recently. Why is he rage baiting? Because he is a nihilistic debate mercenary that doesn't give a he thinks you shouldn't be optics cucked, which of course in many circumstances implies that you can, as a white guy, say the N-word, for example. Like it's totally irrelevant and unproductive ways in which he advocates for certain things. Like, it's just stupid. He's ultimately a nihilistic edgelord, and as someone who is nearing 40 years old, he just runs around and is like, "Ooh, I'm saying bad words that you're not supposed to say. I'm saying bad things that you're not supposed to say," and he wears that as a badge of honor. Yeah, he's the closest you can get to being a liberal groiper, literally. It's also been an abject failure. His own son is a Nazi. His own son that he refused to educate and refused to look after because he's too busy frolicking around trying to procure child abuse material from random Discord e-girls. In the process of doing that, he literally created a Nazi son, a groiper son. That's what happened. So it's an abject failure. And now here we are. Guess who made it on the Fox News primetime and they did zero research on him? Far left streamer. Now he's banned.
And the far left is acting like Charlie had it coming.
If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive,
God, these people are so dumb, dude. It's awesome though, because now they got like one scalp in their minds. They got one scalp, so then they're like, "Oh, finally, like we got one. Okay, maybe they'll quiet down." You know what I mean?
Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when they go to events, so that they look to their leadership to turn down the
Being on Fox News with this clip.
temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear.
That guy's name's Destiny, and he just learned his fate. He's fired and banned for making any more money.
It literally says kid.
Okay, he's literally not banned. Like, he's literally not banned. He is demonetized, though.
Right here, you idiot. It says kick right there, dumb. I wonder why. I wonder why he's on kick and not on. Anyway, we shouldn't even tell him. No, he got banned. Twitch is taking these concerns and they are running with those concerns. And by that, I mean, they banned him so hard. They banned him before he even said those things on Twitch.
On his site. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting killed when you go to events? CNN is defending this guy.
We can't.
Oh no. It was a major, massive misstep on CNN's part to even fucking platform sex pestiny for even a moment. But holy shit, dude.
Punish people for disagreeing with us. We can't punish people for being jerks and celebrating the death of someone. That's not illegal.
It's pretty funny that Jesse Waters, the day after Charlie Kirk's assassination, or like hours after Charlie Kirk's assassination, was like, it's war. We have to start physically apprehending people. Like, we have to, it's war. We have to take it to the left. We have to do something to the left, right? Like immediately after. And then he's like, wow, I can't believe these guys are saying such violent things on the Democrat Party side, on the extreme left.
Illegal, and that shouldn't be who we are.
She's right. It's not illegal to say Charlie deserved to die and you're glad he did. They have a right to say that, but we have a right to fire you.
I genuinely can't believe this is a separate clip.
Also, can I just say, like, this really is peak cancel culture. Like, this is such peak cancel culture from the right. The problem is, for me, or the thing is, for me, I don't give a fuck when it comes to sex pestiny. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is literally because you've decided to align yourself with Dan Stockman, who has spent the past 2 years trying to get as many Congress eyeballs on the internet space. Like, you literally caused this. You guys literally caused this to happen to yourself. Let me see if I can find it. There was like a really good, this tweet was really good. Dan Stockman told Hassan Piker he played no role in lobbying Congress to enact censorship on Twitch. Here he is talking to Loner Bucks about how he set up a meeting with multiple Republican congressmen to talk about cracking down on Twitch. So recently he put out this tweet. Dan Stockman said, I'm not sure if Hassan is trying to blame myself or Jews for this, but for clarity's sake, I have not talked, emailed, DM'd, or had any communication with anyone involved with this directly or indirectly. They chose to investigate Twitch all by themselves. I had no idea this was coming or even in the works until it hit the news. Meanwhile, why is it so quiet?
I have congressional meetings set up. Okay, so that's like with more than one dude. Republicans, obviously, shifted.
What's a congressional meeting?
Well, I guess it's when there's with multiple congressmen, and it's like a fact-finding mission for them, where they go and they. Oh, stop the video. Sorry.
They couldn't. I love how Dan Stockman is just like hate watching Hassan.
For hard right now.
Okay. All right. So a congressional video is where not a congressional video. A congressional meeting is where there's multiple of them, and they have their aides with them, their chiefs of staffs with them, and then they're trying to find out, like, okay, explain this to us, everything from start to finish, and they're taking notes, and then they're issuing subpoenas and shit like that after that, based on the information of what you give. What would you like to talk about? You want to talk about the mission?
What's your progress going forward with Twitch?
To pretend like you had nothing at all to do with the fact that currently, I believe Dan Clancy is being asked to testify from by Comer about Twitch and its radicalization of users. Like, pretending like you had absolutely nothing to do with that. And Congress just on their own decided that they knew what Twitch was. Is that right? Is that right? Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Continuing.
They're not defending him specifically. I know. Of course they're not defending him. But it is funny that these guys are so stupid and so susceptible to misinformation that even when this dude turns around and trolls people by being like, oh no, I got banned, by showing the actual time that he got banned, which was many years ago at this point, they're like, hell yeah, we got one.
You can't walk into the office and say you're into homicide. You can't work at CNN and tweet, I'm comfortable with cold-blooded murder.
What do you mean? Dog.
These guys know what Twitch is for sure.
TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the.
So if I have a
question.
TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Mr. Chu,
Like, these people know of Twitch. They're like, that's some gaming website or something. But the past, again, 2 years of trying to bring as much attention as possible to Hassan and Hassan's rhetoric and his language and all this other shit. Guess what, dude? Once they start investigating Twitch, do you really think it's going to be Hassan and not the guy that says, like, I think you should mow down protesters? I think that the firemen who died at the Trump attempted assassination, he can go fuck himself. I think that the Charlie Kirk thing, I think that, like, do you really think that guy is not going to get prime time news coverage? Like, here's Alex Jones saying, shocking video, watch leftist mouthpiece Destiny brag about planning to murder a family, blame President Trump for Charlie Kirk's assassination, call for conservative deaths at rallies, wish for the death of Devin Nunes. We are live breaking it all down. This tweet got 1 million views.
Like, legitimately, like, I was so, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house to kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. Because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it. But I was making so much money on Twitch, and I don't know if Nathan was involved in yet, but for whatever reason, I decided that the current life I had wasn't worth the risk of. Oh my god. Oh my god, I was so close to this fucking address. I had fucking streets mapped out and fucking you have no fucking idea. That's when I first started getting an interest in, like, owning a weapon. I got a permit to own a gun and everything. Holy oh, could you imagine watching Nunes' eyes pop out of his fucking head? Nothing would make me happier. Oh my god, I would fucking jerk off. So I would never need to browse porn again if I had a live video feed of Nunes being killed for crimes against his fucking country. Oh my god, it would be the most arousing fucking thing I could ever imagine seeing in my entire life. I'm squeezing my hog to this. That worthless, subhuman fucking piece of shit deserves to die. Conservatives have been disgusting for years, which is why I don't give a fuck about anybody that winds up at any of these rallies and gets shot or whatever the fuck, okay? Because they had no problem making fun of Paul Pelosi. The entire world would be better off.
Why you acting like you ain't part of this hate mob? Because there isn't a single clip of me talking about being excited that someone's gonna fucking get killed, get murdered. The farthest you can look is like me saying that I don't give a fuck about Biden dying potentially from cancer. That's the farthest you can go, which is just like literally, that's just natural causes and me saying I don't really care about someone dying of natural causes. Oh my God, how could you? Oh, have some empathy. Like, you're in support of crazies like Hassan. Dude, you people are so obsessed with Hassan. I cannot imagine how you can tune into a stream, speak to a woman that is talking about some other freak on the internet, and you're like, well, Hassan, did I mention Hassan? I need you to know about Hassan. Dude, please let him go. Please. He shouldn't be in your head rent-free. He has the money to pay. Please let him go, dude. Stop. Please. Oh my goodness.
These people were permanently removed from these platforms. Like, there is no downside and only upside to see people like Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Tim Pool never be allowed to publicly broadcast their opinions ever again. You need conservatives to be afraid of getting...
Sorry, there's something really funny about this. I'll see you on tomorrow. I'll have you know I watch the biggest fucking idiot on the planet on YouTube. You feel epically owned yet? I'll of you know I eat lead tips for breakfast. Feel owned yet? Like, oh my God. I love when people say this shit, dude. I love it. It's so good. Not everyone in chat saying who Omega lol. Oh God, dude. Oh Lord. Okay, anyways, going back to the Alex Jones collection of clips.
And killed when they go to events so that they look to their leadership to turn down the temperature. The issue is right now, they don't feel like there's any fear. If you wanted Charlie Kirk to be alive, Donald Trump shouldn't have been president for the second term.
I'll give you one last chance, Destiny, to condemn the murder of Charlie
Yes, you
Kirk.
are acting like a non-human.
Why can't I hear Donald Trump condemn violence in this
All
country?
right, you
Why
won't
can't I
condemn
hear
it. Okay, we've all heard.
That's insane.
We've
to
all
me.
heard you repeatedly refuse to
And
condemn
we've
it.
heard Donald Trump refuse to condemn it too. But for some
Posobiec.
reason, the leftists on YouTube are a bigger deal. Unbelievable.
Yeah, what's incredible is you don't have the basic humanity to condemn it. You'd rather taunt his widow. I find that sickening.
Not the Alex Jones intro being this crazy.
Says hand in your guns, pass the Cybersecurity Act, and the police state's good, and then your children are turned into mindless vassals who now they look up to some twit instead of looking up to Thomas Jefferson or looking up to Nikola Tesla or looking up to
I like how this video he posted on Twitter, like 2 minutes of it is like Destiny being insane. And then the rest of it is just like his intro to his show. Oh, Lord, dude. Okay. Moving on. Continuing.
A prominent anchor on...
Wait, before we continue this video, really quickly. 2 other things. 1, Destiny's channel demonetized. Lots of, I don't know what this is, are reporting their memberships are terminated, and it looks like you can't super chat him anymore. And there are people posting screenshots from YouTube saying, hi, the channel membership feature on Mr. Borelli's channel has been paused, so your membership has been paused. We'll let you know if it starts up again, or sorry, when it starts up again, and you resume your recurring payments. If you like, you can cancel this membership from the purchases page on a computer or Android device, or request a refund of your last month's payment at any time. Thanks, the YouTube team. All right, let's continue watching.
Your network, Brian Kilme, quite literally said that about homeless people, which includes, of course, homeless veterans as well. A group of homeless people that you guys love to avoid talking about until you want to talk about how much money we're spending on immigrants or some shit. He just straight up said, we should kill homeless people. Like, not even, like, that's it. That's what he said. He said we should straight up kill homeless people, dude. That is crazy. Also, speaking of which, 13 people hurt in 2 mass shootings at the Minneapolis homeless encampments on the same day, apparently. At least 13 people have been wounded, 5 critically, and 2 shootings that erupted over a span of 12 hours at homeless encampments in Minneapolis. The mayor is saying he shouldn't be surprised if they are connected. He wouldn't be surprised if they're connected. The shootings on Monday marked the 4th and 5th mass shootings to occur in Minneapolis over the past 3 weeks, including one on August 27th at Annunciation. I can't even read anymore. Annunciation Catholic school that left 2 children dead and 21 people injured. Yeah, here's what Brian Kilme said. This guy.
Billions of dollars to mental health and the homeless population. A lot of them don't want to take the programs. A lot of them don't want to get the help that is necessary. You can't give them a choice. Either you take the resources that we're going to give you.
I showed this clip like, I don't know, 3 days ago.
Or you decide that you're going to be locked up in jail. That's the way it has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something. Just kill them.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to the...
Just kill him. Brian Kilmeade says, just kill him about homeless people.
I like that he also clarified, like, if people don't know what involuntary euthanasia means, look at his face, bro. Wait.
It has to be now.
Or involuntary lethal injection or something.
Yep. He went, yeah, and then stop. Look, please. Look at his reaction. Look at his fucking reaction.
Or something.
Yeah.
Lethal injection or something. Just kill him.
Yeah, Brian, why did it have to get to this point?
Yeah.
Right. I would say this: we're not voting for the right people in North Carolina. Wake up.
Yeah, we're not voting for the right people. We should be voting for the people who will kill the homeless. I can't. This is so funny. Yeah, no, he apologized. He did. He had to apologize. Of course, he had to apologize. We are so far removed. We are so far removed from like accountability or anything like that, especially on the conservative side. Like, it is unironically seen as like a major freedom that you have if you are right wing, you know?
The murder of Irina Zaruska in Charlotte, North.
The other guy was even advocating for locking all the homeless people up in prison if they don't accept government demands. I'd say the other two agree with him. Before he said yep, he didn't say anything to push back. They either think that too or have heard it before. They weren't shocked. Well, they were shocked that that guy would say just kill him live on TV, because that's like a big jump. Like, it is socially acceptable to say lock them up. It's not necessarily socially acceptable. The Overton window hasn't moved just yet, but maybe now it has, to say that you can just fucking lethal injection all the homeless people.
Carolina. Now, how to stop these kinds of attacks by homeless, mentally ill assailants, including institutionalizing or jailing such people so they cannot attack again. Now, during that discussion, I wrongly said they should get lethal.
Oh, wait. I want to hear that before you do that. Put spikes on the benches and let nature take its course. I'm teasing. Okay, listen, man, I just want you to know, I like jokes, but they have to be funny, and your joke just like wasn't funny. I'm sorry. I like dark humor. I like edgy humor. I like funny jokes, but it was kind of not funny. So I'm just gonna tomato you.
Objections. I apologize for that extremely callous remark. I'm obviously aware that not all mentally ill homeless people act as the perpetrator did in North Carolina, and that so many homeless people deserve our empathy and compassion.
Man, remember when you got banned for Medicare fraud? Imagine if you said anything near this, but you know the right is never violent. I know. This doesn't mean that like those of us on the left should get to say stuff like this in general. We can't get away with it, and we shouldn't say it anyway. But like, understand that this is how it works. Like, there is no, I know I farm the hypocrisy points all the time because unfortunately,
take housing away from people who speak bad about the homeless and give it to the homeless. Yeah, if you advocate for like imprisoning homeless people, the state should just like reclaim your property and give it to a homeless person.
Colored ass normies actually respond to that, especially those in the margins. And it's certainly a weapon that the Republicans have wielded for a very long time. But the reality of the matter is, these guys don't give a yeah, they're hypocritical. Like, they don't care. They're just lying. They're stupid. They're lying. They're hateful. It is what it is, you know? I genuinely don't know what to do. Like, what do you do when half of the two major parties in this country, like one half of the entire political system, is just operating on lies and hysteria? Libs think hypocrisy is like a poison debuff. Yeah.
More people need to be killed.
Anyway, that's funny that, like, again, Jesse Waters, only a couple days after being like, we have to do war to the left, is like, wow, I can't believe how intolerant these libtards are.
Speech is free, but you're not free from the consequences. If you're glad Charlie's dead and thought he had it coming, I'm supposed to sit next to you in the break room? You're going to teach my kid at school or serve in government? And I'm supposed to just say, free speech. You're advertising that you're a maniac and that you have no decency, compassion, or humanity.
I mean, like, low key, that's how I feel about being around Republicans who celebrate deaths of not just like one person, but entire swaths of the population. That's what it feels like if you're anti-Zionist.
I mean, that's how I feel about this shit. This person who posted a happy, glorious pager operation day. And I said, it's actually insane that the same people who have spent the past 3 days mourning and praying for Charlie Kirk will happily celebrate the Lebanon pager attacks that killed at least 12 people and injured or maimed thousands. And the number of people in these replies saying like, those were terrorists. They were all terrorists. Wish they would do that to Democrats. I know, right? It's like putting a bomb in a box with a sign that says child porn is in here and then complaining about all the innocent, upstanding members of society who open the box. What the fuck? I understand the analogy, but why did you make this analogy? Make literally any other analogy. Why the fuck did you make this one? Why? What? The attack was against terrorists. You R-worded ghoul. Like, can you imagine? You like think back on the pager attacks and you're like, haha, surely Israel didn't kill any innocent people. Surely Israel didn't attack any innocent civilians. Thankfully, Israel has never done that. Israel, luckily, has never done. Like, I'm supposed to talk to these people and empathize with them and as Jesse Waters says, sit in the break room with the type of person that says, if it's horrifying that terrorists who kill and murder people got killed and murdered for killing and murdering people, you're R-worded. Those were actual terrorists. It was pretty funny. How is that insane? One is about terrorists, other is not. Supporting terrorists is wild. Like, just don't be a terrorist. Easy. Of terrorists. You left that bit off at the end there. Injured and maimed thousands of terrorists. Hope that helped. Well, they were terrorists. Like, I'm supposed to be able to see eye to eye with people that just hand wave all of Israel's actions by claiming the brown people had to be terrorists. Yes, the little girl who lost her arm, the 6-year-old girl who lost her arm in the pager attack, classic terrorist. She looks like one. Look at her. Have you seen her skin tone? That's a terrorist. That's a terrorist if I've ever fucking seen one. You know, I have a clip of her saying Allahu Akbar. That might change your mind. How the fuck am I supposed to see eye to eye with someone like that? Like, how am I? What?
If you're anti-Israel and you're surrounded by these people who are just like you're surrounded by these people who are looking at all that death and destruction and going, that's awesome. We want more of it. And you should shut the fuck up. But once again, I always say, like, this goes back to how violence is perceived by the masses. If it's institutions, if it's institutional violence, if it's systemic violence, if it's the violence of the state, it's not considered violence by the masses. So as long as the government doing it, right, you can maybe get mad at the process, right? Oh, wow, like, we're bombing this country. Oh, you didn't get proper clearance or permission from Congress. You know, at most, that's the anger and resentment people have. I remember this when we were talking about bombing Yemen, which is a rite of passage for every American president. And like, even in the Signal Gate, the main point of contention for everybody was how big of a security failure this was, that drunk ass Pete Hegseth had brought in the editor of The Atlantic into the group chat when he was talking about how they're going to be bombing Yemen. And that was the major point of contention. No one was like saying, hey, why the fuck are we bombing a sovereign country? Can someone explain that to me? Like, that's pretty fucked up. That's pretty unacceptable. Why are we doing that? And that to me is indicative of the way that we see state violence, right? Another glaring example of that, like the societal reflection on violence, who gets to do it, who gets to be the recipient of it, and how non-state actors are those who are considered violent, was when Benjamin Netanyahu went on Fox News and just sat there and was like, the type of violence that seeks to silence dissent is one that I'm all too familiar with. And I was like, the f do you mean? You've killed every journalist in Gaza, motherfucker. You're a war criminal. You're doing the Holocaust. And you just sit there and you go, oh, I can't believe like the violence that took out Charlie Kirk. It's coming in my direction too. The very fact that.
And like, I think one thing that Hassan isn't talking about that I want to mention is that people are capable of understanding, for example, social murder versus an assassination, they're capable of understanding that these are closer to each other than they are to other things. Because you can look at like Luigi Mangione and how the masses acted. Everyone in this fucking shithole country that is an adult, that has had insurance, that has had to go to a doctor, knows how fucked our system is. Every single if you're not American, maybe you haven't experienced it, so it seems like surreal and there's just like no way that it could be true. But any American in this country, God forbid you have any chronic illness, you know how shit our healthcare system is. If you're even lucky enough to have healthcare, correct. It is like, I'm not joking, it is a luxury to be able to go to the doctor when you want to go to the doctor. And none of me is joking about that statement, which is insane. But that's precisely why when that CEO when the healthcare CEO died, Republicans, so many conservatives, like voters, didn't care. They literally didn't care. They were like, I mean, I'm not going to like advocate for violence, but I'm also not going to fucking cry for this piece of shit. I've had United Healthcare, and guess what? They fucking denied me for shit that I was covered for. And I had to pay $10,000 fucking dollars for this treatment that I should have gotten covered for. And they refused it. I don't give a fuck about that guy. That guy let people that I know die. Maybe he didn't personally sign the death warrant. Maybe he didn't personally make sure that, you know, my cousin or dad or whatever got executed. But as far as I'm concerned, he caused that death. As well as everybody else in there who played a role that allowed that to happen. And so people understand these ideas. Their consent has been manufactured so fucking hardcore by our media machine that when they want to ignore it or when they're told to ignore it, they do. Just because you're doing it within the system or just because even the state is doing it doesn't suddenly make it acceptable. And then I wanted to show this, but like these people, you have to understand that also like the average conservative is like struggling with basic concepts, basic ideas. Because every once in a while on Twitter, I try and engage in like genuine discussion because I'm curious, you know, like I want to see what the people have to say. So I did this. So I'm sure you guys saw this Fox News poll that says political violence is never acceptable. And here's the percentage of people that agree with this statement. Let me let the clip play.
A poll. Political violence is never acceptable. I think most people agree with that. If you're a baby boomer, 93% of you say, obviously, Gen X, 86. But here's what I find fascinating, Lawrence. Gen Z only says 58% of them believe that political violence is never acceptable. And there's no political breakout. So I'd love to see if you're left-leaning, if you believe it's so, or if you're right-leaning, if you believe that's acceptable.
It's interesting. It wasn't broken down that way. Charlie Kirk actually talked about this assassination culture that was developing in Gen Z.
Yes.
What is that?
I blame, from a personal standpoint, you know, Charlie ran Turning Point USA. I ran Campus Reform, which has all the conservative college reporters that are on the campus. And if you don't believe me, some of the radicalization that's happening through the college professors, by the way.
Of course.
Go to campusreform.com, and if you have a child in college, type in the school and see the stuff that the professors are teaching these kids on a day-to-day basis. And so when you weaponize speech, it becomes a problem. Now, you know, I have some personal friends of mine that are on the left, and we were going back and forth this weekend about what is an extremist and what is not an extremist. And they had the point of view that they condemn what happened to Charlie, but he was an extremist. I was like, those have legal ramifications. When you call someone an extremist, this pushes people to the edge to feel like
Not the fucking Nazi meme again, dude. Oh my fucking God, dude. Listen. I'm not trying to, you know, fucking get caught in the crosshairs of whatever the fuck this administration's doing. So please excuse the most obvious sentence, the most obvious prelude sentence. First, let me say I'm against the killing of Charlie Kirk, genuinely asking, how do conservatives believe that the Second Amendment must be protected because it's the only way to fight a tyrannical government, and also that no political violence is ever acceptable? So, like, the number one thing that conservatives in this country will tell you about guns, when you try and introduce any gun reform or any gun control, they always say, well, you need guns so you can fight a tyrannical government. That's how you fight the tyrannical government. You fight it with guns. You can't legislate guns or take away guns because then how will we use them? But then how can they say that and then also at the same fucking time a majority of them say no political violence is ever acceptable? How do you work these two, like, diametrically opposed ideas together at the same fucking time? And let me just say two things. One, the amount of negative reading comprehension under this, like, if you guys want to lose faith in humanity or in the average Twitter user, you can go ahead and look at the replies on this. But also, two, it makes no fucking sense. The arguments that they've created, like, this is, I don't even know what to say about something this stupid. Defending yourself against a corrupt government is not political violence. Political violence is shooting someone because they voted for someone or something you didn't like, or said something you didn't like. It is burning down cities. So I pulled up, like, just the first fucking link, like Wikipedia, the definition of political violence. I'm like, I'm like 99.9999% sure that still counts as political violence. Overthrowing a government violently is still political violence. But let me just double check, pull it up. Wikipedia says political violence is violence which is perpetrated in order to achieve political goals. Go down a little bit. It says it can also describe politically motivated violence which is used by violent non-state actors against the state. And then in parentheses, it gives some examples: rebellion, rioting, treason, or a coup d'etat. That is to say, there are lots of things that can be classified as political violence. One of them is overthrowing a admittedly corrupt government. And this, like, the cognitive dissonance here is crazy. LMAO, fighting for freedom against a corrupt government, is not political violence. Where do these people come up with this stuff? Like, what do you do? How do you even reach someone like this? How do you reach someone like this who's like, no, political violence is what I say that it is. I created the definition 5 seconds ago, and it's when you kill Charlie Kirk. Everything else is not political violence. Like, overthrowing a tyrannical government violently is inherently political. It is inherently political violence. That is literally what that means. Like, dude, what? Not his username. I didn't even notice this. His username being Debate Coliseum, and he's dumber than a rock. No. No. What do you, I don't know what you do. I don't know how you reach these people. So you want to take away the guns and that's going to stop the political violence? No, okay, that's a whole new sentence. You like pancakes? Oh, so you must hate waffles? That's a whole new sentence. No, you can't, sadly. Dude, you're wrong. Other countries have had insane amounts of guns in the country per capita, per person, and they've managed to legislate them. This idea that it can't be done and it never will be done, so we should just give up now, is exactly what Fox News wants you to think. Okay, wait, let me try and find this. Wait, where did I just had it. I misplaced it. God damn it. Oh, okay, there we go. And then this is like this again, if you want to like lose faith in the average Twitter user, the other half of the replies from conservatives are people that are just incapable of reading. Many people completely opposed to the left are politically centrist. However, to answer, a tyrannical rule infringes the Constitution and is either a subversion of legal government or a foreign invasion using the organs of the state to assert control. The original context of 2A. Bro, this is not even... How is this an answer to the question, even remotely? How? So what the fuck is this argument that you don't need guns? It's either you need the guns because you need it for political violence, or you're down for gun control that will stop unnecessary bloodshed. Those are the... You can't have both of those in your head. That's true. I just don't see what guns have to do with it. Well, I'm literally quote tweeting. Okay, there's two things. First of all, I'm quote tweeting a Fox News piece about how 93% of boomers, for example, believe that political violence is never acceptable. And when you talk to conservatives and you tell them, I believe in gun control, I believe in common sense gun control, I believe in wait times for guns, I believe in like background checks for guns, I believe in red flag laws. And before people say, there are some, not in every state, not in every state. I believe in like no face-to-face gun purchases. You shouldn't be able to like walk over to your buddy Bob's house and he's like, I'll sell you this for like $50. And that's a legal transaction. That should not be legal. No point of that should be legal. And then when you talk to conservatives and you tell them all these things, and you're like, I just want some common sense gun laws. They tell you, no, we can't have any common sense gun laws. We can't have gun laws because that's going to infringe on our Second Amendment. And our Second Amendment is the only way that we can ever enact political violence against a tyrannical state. That's the only way that we can do that. And it's like, so then how can you be how can you say that political violence is never how can you hold these two ideas together? And the reality is just like their opinions don't make sense. They just like don't make any sense. But yeah, the number of replies like this, Charlie wasn't a politician or in the government. It's like, dude, you want to just like actually read the fucking, what I'm fucking quote tweeting, for the love of God. Just, they're so lead poisoned that like they can't even read sentences. They can't read sentences. How? He's reading his woke. It's fucking woke, dude. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Clearly, political violence can only be done to politicians. It's like, for fuck's sake, dude. Oh, Jesus. All right. Continuing. Continuing, chat. Continuing. Back on the let's finish up on the Mr. Borelli thing, because I want to get onto the hopium segment with what is it called? Bruce Banner with the Hulk, with Mark Ruffalo. But before we get there, sorry, let's finish the Mr. Borelli stuff.
I feel like my YouTube is going to get permaban soon.
Everyone,
I got like
inshallah.
demonetized yesterday for they didn't even cite a video. So I don't know. I'll appeal it. We'll see what happens. But
Everyone, quick, inshallah.
I mean, if Kimmel is getting canceled from ABC, I don't know.
We can only hope. We can only hope. I will say, pretty funny stuff. One thing that kind of tickled my pickle a little, and I hope it does for you guys too, was this. Not this, but also this. Mr. Borelli announces he is retiring from politics and focusing on gaming. And he says, unreal. I think I might just do this event and retire to gaming for 6 months or indefinitely. I think it should just be a conservative fascist government. People like Hush, Pisco, CNN can just do their thing. There's just way too many pussies with zero fucking spine. There's no point. And then it's the post just says, Destiny's been harassing and stalking Hassan and other pro-Palestinian streamers for 2 years to bring attention to himself. Now he's received 1% of the vitriol they have received and immediately gives up and succumbs to fascism. This is liberalism in a nutshell. And then this Mike tweet. Destiny's been harassing me, Hassan, and other streamers for years. He's used far-right communities, snark subreddits, and stalking forums to do so. He even coordinated with Fox News. One day of the same energy going his way, and he throws in the towel. Generational coward. Oh, amazing stuff, dude. Amazing. All right. Can I also show this? I guess like in a show of epicness, he decided to do like a similar to Charlie Kirk change my mind type of thing. Breaking, dude, 4.5 million people saw this. Liberal creator Destiny attempted to copy Charlie Kirk by debating at a college campus, but he was met with taunts, calling him a cuck, and an F slur. The person said, tell us how many kids you fucked, Destiny. And then they say, how many miles of cocks have you sucked, Destiny?
Not half as many as you, sir.
After he tells him, tell us how many miles of cocks you've sucked, he says, not as much as you. And he says, your mic's not on. F word. Bro. I really like, I don't know how else to explain that it's insane to me that he spent the past honestly more, for Hassan, he's been like, he's got like a psychosexual obsession with Hassan, so he's been like stalking him for 5 years. But they've spent the past 2 years desperately trying to get Congress involved, and then Congress got involved, but when they did, and the media machine got involved, they were like, dude, who the fuck is this Destiny guy? This guy's a fucking freak. And it's like, me reaping. Yes, me sowing. No. No, not like that. Wait, you're not supposed to look into me. You're only supposed to look into Hassan. If only someone could have guessed that if Congress got involved with online influencers, I might get caught in the crosshairs. Sorry, sow and then you reap. My bad, sorry. I'm just having too much fun. My apologies. You reap what you sow. My apologies.